Hi everyone, and welcome back to another reading. In today's reading, we're looking at the eclipse season 2023 that is starting on October 14th, 2023, and what massive transformations and changes this eclipse season is bringing into your life. As we know, eclipses are a very, very powerful astrological time that is accelerating us towards our destiny, that is really allowing us to let go of the old, move into the new, and it usually comes with extreme spiritual, psychological, personal transformations, as well as these manifestations of our internal narratives and scenarios, internal growth and progress in real life, obviously. So let's dive straight into your piles. For today's reading, we have 3 different pre-shuffled oracle piles. Let's look through them. We have pile number 1 with nebula or fog, pile number 2 with argentum or silver, and pile number 3 with wise salt, sol sapiente. So please make your pile selection based on your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Bye. Hi everyone, if you selected nebula or fog or pile number 1, this is going to be your reading, all about the massive transformations and changes that this eclipse season 2023 that's starting on October 14th is bringing into your life. Right away with nebula and fog, it seems like you lack clarity in your life now. Perhaps you're needing clarity or guidance about where to step next. Maybe there's just an energy of something being unclear or foggy in your life now. Let's reveal these circular cards. We have the unseen. Oh yeah, I remember the synchronicity in your reading where, do you guys see how these 2 cards are done in a very similar design? And this circular deck, both of them have a lot of different cards, and only these cards that I've seen so far have this design. Again, an element of waters being muddied in some way. Okay, we'll figure it out. We have the miser, stubbornness, and inflexibility. And we have the vengeance, overcoming slights, a choice. There's an anchor on this card. So it seems like you've anchored yourself somewhere and you're deciding to pull the anchor up. You're deciding to move. Interesting. We have Mars in Capricorn with authority. And we have Sun in Sagittarius with enthusiasm. All right, let's look at your tea leaves. We have apple. Temptation will test you. This makes me think of Adam and Eve apple, the apple of knowledge. We'll see. We have broken wishbone, wish will not be granted. And let's see your last tea leaf. We have vase, secret admirer. Okay, we'll see how these fit into your reading. So far, honestly, pile number 1, I am getting this confusing energy, which is ironic because we have fog here. Okay, we'll clear it up for you, obviously. Let's get your tarot cards. All right, pile number 1. Let's see what changes is this eclipse season bringing into your life. These cards are so long. They're longer than my hands. I do have small hands though, so. There's definitely an energy of you discovering your personal power here. Okay. 9 of Swords. This card is meant to represent your situation now, or your perspective of your situation now. We have 4 of Swords. We have the World. Wow. This is pretty massive. Okay, let's get 3 more cards. We have Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Beautiful. we have Page of Wands. Oh, I need one more card and there's no space. Let me try. I'll reorganize your cards. And finally, oh my goodness, that's so sweet. We have 10 of Cups. Very, very sweet card to get for the outcome here. Let me just rearrange your cards and I'll be right back. All right, pile number one, what do we have here? So right away with nebula and fog and the unseen, right? It seems to me that you're lacking a certain clarity in your life. You're anxious about something. This is also evident in this Nine of Swords card because it presents your current situation or perspective on your current situation. The good thing I'm here to tell you is you are transitioning into a much happier time with this eclipse season. In fact, we're seeing that finally it's like the gates of fate have opened and the wheel of time had turned for you to receive all of the positive manifestation of your own karmic energy, of your own energy that you've been putting out there. So congratulations, you're wrapping up this heavy cycle. But I can tell pile number one that this eclipse season, obviously eclipses are a powerful emotional transformation time. So usually they come with triggers externally or internally, and we are seeing it here. There's some sort of a transition, some sort of a breakthrough that you have been looking for that is occurring in this month of October or in November, basically during this eclipse season. This eclipse season is really clearing the situation out for you and allowing you to break out of a cycle of darkness or anxiety or some sort of just a negative energy that has been holding you back for an extended period of time here with stubbornness and inflexibility. This card really makes me feel that you are basically digging in your shadow. You're recognizing what is not working and which ways have you personally contributed to your suffering, and which ways have you settled, and which ways have you not honored your truth in your life. And you're coming to a painful realization that in some ways you have been holding yourself back. This is what this eclipse season is about. The reason why I say it's a painful realization because Nine of Swords is the end of the cycle. A lot of the times this card is presented as anxiety, right? Someone who is unable to sleep on something, and the reason why they're unable to sleep is because they're finally choosing to acknowledge basically in what ways have they themselves have been holding themselves hostage. That's why actually Nine of Swords is a positive card in a lot of readings, and that's because it's the first thing that needs to happen, right, for you to move into a new life for yourself. For you to move into a positive energy, there needs to be an addressing of the shadow, a purging of the shadow, a recognition of personal power through recognizing in which ways have you personally contributed to your pain. And you're doing this through the eclipse season. I think that your pain may be related, or your anxiety may be related to something that you have not received. There has been some sort of a wish on your mind, some sort of, basically you've been with the vase, I'm just thinking you've been, fantasizing about a life with secret admirer here. You were secretly dreaming of a bigger life, and I think you were expecting to receive it because you know that in your contract, basically your soul knows that you're meant to receive this desire, but because it wasn't able to be fulfilled, that is what kind of caused this foggy energy in you where you're like, okay, well, I thought I wanted this and I've been doing everything right, but like maybe it's not for me. You're like, this energy of confusion is in the air right now. And congratulations, pile number one, you're moving into a much, much easier cycle with actually a lot of happiness coming your way. You're overcoming. Basically, in some way, you have rooted yourself in some sort of a negative or a toxic belief pattern that has been keeping you stuck. The reason I say it has been keeping you stuck is because you have anchored yourself in a certain perspective or a certain belief system that was keeping you basically hostage, and that did not allow you to realize your massive basically leadership qualities here with Mars in Capricorn, right? And Sun in Sagittarius. This is very much a leadership, like philosophy, spiritual leadership type of authority energy here. And if you're looking to be fulfilled in the area of your career specifically, if you're looking to really find, your destiny, like you meeting with the career or with the work of your lifetime, like you really having a sense of clarity what you're here to do, this is the next thing that is occurring for you during the eclipse season 2023. Basically, you're finally merging with some sort of a destined point in your life where you feel like you're finally where you belong with the world here. Now, pile number one, there is a message here with these two cards, because card number one here represents you now, your energy now, and we're seeing that there's some anxiety here. Maybe you're worried about a desire not coming into fruition. Maybe there is patience. Maybe you've already started taking steps towards receiving something. You're manifesting, but you're not fully aware that it's coming to you yet. Like you're anxious about manifestation of your desire. You're not sure. It seems like you're in the unknown about something. And for the second card to come out as Four of Swords and being the challenge, I will tell you, pile number one, there is advice of really trying to root yourself in self-care throughout the eclipse season. Basically, Four of Swords is a card of rest, right? And this being the challenge card, it seems to me that right now there might be a lot of anxious like mind energy. Your mind is just going on and you're like, okay, what can I do? Maybe I should be taking new steps. You're really reconnecting with your sense of power, of authority. You're really like getting up and really ready for action. However, your cards are actually telling you that there needs to be a balance between work and push and masculine energy of receiving your desire and you getting rest, you being rooted in your feminine power of manifestation. You're actually advised to take some time to yourself whenever you can, to root yourself in your spiritual practices, in meditation, in whatever it is you love to do that really allows your mind to be off of this particular subject. It will really help you through this eclipse season in 2023. Now, the change that is occurring internally within you, we're seeing presented in the third card here with the World. Clearly, everything in your reading, pile number one, tells us that you're ending a cycle, a very, very painful, you were just dealing with something internal. Something has been holding you back. You have internalized some sort of a trauma to the point where it penetrated your mindset and, you started manifesting maybe negative things in your physical reality and you started questioning everything. There is a personal internal narrative change. You're wrapping a cycle of negative thinking. You're wrapping a cycle of being stuck and stagnant, and you're wrapping up a cycle of not being able to see clearly what your life is about. Basically, if you have been asking for a breakthrough, for clarity, if you have been asking to, I want to be done with this karmic energy, if you have been feeling like some energy, dark energy has been keeping you hostage, if you feel like you've been doing a lot of shadow work and you're like, well, I don't really see the end here, you know what I mean? I can't really, I'm just kind of blindly walking through the shadow work hoping it would work. It is working. Okay, pile number one, you are wrapping up a cycle and you are transitioning into a much easier time in your life. And we can see with the Wheel of Fortune here, pile number one, you are going to be surprised what this next period of time has in store for you. So October, November are seeming to be pretty exciting. There is a message of you being open-minded. You're in the unknown now, okay? And yes, it might be scary, but also guess what? In the unknown, you can only find more of yourself. There's nothing there to fear, right? Because you're no longer predispositioned by the old. Things will not happen like they did in the past. Right now, the wheel of fate or the wheel of time is basically turning in your favor, and you will see there will be miraculous opportunities that are coming your way that are fated, that you're meant to receive in this lifetime. So specifically for those of you wondering about career fulfillment, about feeling like you are truly living the life that you're destined to live, congratulations. I'm seeing that this eclipse season is actually bringing you all of the karmic opportunities, like good positive karma, basically reflection back to you with this wheel of fortune here. Again, 10, it's the end of a cycle. And wheel of fortune, as we know, is one of those cards in tarot that has nothing to do with your personal like ego power, right? Wheel of fortune is literally a card of destiny, of something being served to us receiving opportunities, us kind of like, randomly through synchronicity being led towards what we're meant to do here. And yeah, congratulations, pile number one. It seems like honestly this October and November season are going to really surprise you in terms of how smoothly things transition for you. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'm seeing why there's this advice of getting rest. There's nothing that you need to do in terms of, work, go, get it. It's not like that these months with this eclipse season. The eclipse season for you is about trusting in the unseen, trusting in your vision, trusting that the work that you've been putting into yourself, into your dreams, into your manifestations is paying off, and the energy is actually clearing out for you to finally receive the manifestation of what you have been asking for. And we're seeing this with Page of Wands here. It seems like you're going on a totally new journey. There is a redirection here, okay? I'm seeing like basically all of a sudden you might be stressed out about something, like maybe there's just externally something going on. Maybe you're like, well, how can I pay rent? Maybe you are looking for a new job, something. There's just an energy of confusion and lack of clarity, and all of a sudden this energy is changing. The wheel of time is turning. You're ending the cycle. You're physically, visually seeing this in your reality, that the cycle of pain is ending. You're receiving opportunities. Basically, look at this. They're moving towards each other here. This is what kind of I'm seeing here with these two cards. You are ready to step into a totally new journey with Page of Wands here, and this journey is about passion and creativity. It's a young energy. It's an energy of innocence, excitement, of passion, of really being curious about this new life here. And by the end of the eclipse season 2023, this is so sweet. Pile number one, the end of this year 2023 is seeming very positive for you. You are feeling basically like your dreams are coming true. I mean, 9 of Cups is a fulfillment of a dream. 10 of Cups is feeling like so emotionally blessed and abundant. It's like overflowing, right? You're sharing it with other people. So whatever it is that is occurring here, pile number one, for all of you, this is going to be an upgrade in your physical reality. It's going to be an upgrade in your status with Mars in Capricorn here, an authority. It's going to give you basically a platform and a voice in which you feel like, yeah, I truly belong here. And at the same time, even though you have seemingly this position of power, again, with Sun and Sagittarius and Page of Wands, we're seeing that it's not the kind of power that is boring. You're not receiving some sort of just a boring job offer that is paying you a bunch of money. No, you're doing something that you're super enthusiastic about. It's a new journey. There's definitely a reroute that is happening here. If you have been feeling dissatisfied in an area of your life or another, there is a reroute and things are finally gonna get easier. So if you're feeling a lot of anxiety right now, as we're seeing with fog and then seeing here with stubbornness and inflexibility here, know, pile number one, that this eclipse season, basically October, November, when the energies settle in, by the end of this time, you will be happy, you will be really fulfilled, you will feel like, oh my God, finally the puzzle pieces are put in place in the way where I'm seeing why I had to go through all of this, in the way where I'm seeing basically you're witnessing destiny act on your behalf, and that is really, really making you feel rested. It's really making you feel like you're finally done with this worry in your life in one way or another. There's some something that you have been anxious about for it seemingly like maybe years, honestly, some sort of a repetitive cycle you were stuck in that you couldn't break out of. Finally, the cycle is wrapping up. You are feeling like your cup is full. You feel like you have authority over your life. You feel like you have a leadership position over your life, and you're also excited about the future with Page of Wands. You are really like, I think for the first time, pile number one, you are like witnessing destiny create a massive change for your life, and you're like, okay, I didn't do anything in physical reality to get it. Okay, this is very much fated with the World and Wheel of Fortune here. You will see, and please, pile number one, if you remember, tell me when this happens. Okay, I would love to know how this occurred for you, because I cannot tell you how it's going to occur. With Wheel of Fortune, it's fated. It's like one puzzle piece is fitting right after the other, and you are basically witnessing how everything is falling into place in your life, and you're finding yourself very, very emotionally fulfilled, actually to the point that you're able to celebrate with other people. Like, you're feeling like you can share this emotional fulfillment with others. Maybe there is some sort of a dream that you had since you were very young, and your family, you know, obviously always wanted you to have this, obviously always supported you through this process. Finally, you all can celebrate this ending of a chapter and a beginning of a new one. So yeah, pile number one, I mean, it seems like the eclipse season, although stressful right now because you are in the unseen, there is advice. Please ground your energy, you know, keep yourself calm, allow your positive manifestations to come through to you by just really letting go and having faith. It's okay that you're experiencing anxiety now, you know, just allow yourself to really recognize that yes, right now you don't see what is happening in the future, and that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be right now. Okay, you're not going to be able to predict what's happening here because it's Wheel of Fortune and the World. You are just literally in the unknown. Okay, and obviously this is anxiety inducing for our minds, our egos that are basically designed to just control everything, right? So yeah, pile number one, please take care of yourself through this transition. Know that the next month and a half, 2 months is going to be a massive time of transformation. You're going to be receiving opportunities coming your way, and it's really important that when you do receive these opportunities, you're grounded to the point where you can make really the best decisions for yourself, because right now, basically karmically, all of the positive energy is being dumped onto you, you know. So it's important that you say yes to opportunities that truly call your heart, that truly excite you, because there will be some opportunities that might not be relevant to you, that you might be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll take it, but you're advised to basically have discernment with the opportunities that are coming your way, because some of them are going to be those fated moments of destiny where you look back at them in the future and you're like, whoa, remember eclipse season 2023? That really changed my whole life upside down in a positive way here. You're gonna feel like you're making a huge leap forward. This is what I'm hearing with this card, actually, because of what this Page of Wands is using to walk. You're gonna feel like you have like a lift up because of the passion and enthusiasm energy that this Wheel of Fortune is bringing you. Basically, you're gonna feel like your life is finally getting on track. You're finally doing what you love, and there's definitely a lot of new excitement and emotional fulfillment coming your way in the end of this eclipse season. So please buckle up, allow yourself to ground yourself, and know that this transition into the unknown, it's always stressful for the ego, no matter, you know, what you do. The ego just does not like being in the unknown, right? So understand that you might be feeling some acceleration of anxiety, and that's completely okay. Ground your energy, get the rest that you need, and watch the destiny basically unfold these beautiful events in your life. So yeah, pile number one, thank you so much for being here and for doing this reading with me. If you remember, please tell me your story in the comments once you receive your desires. Obviously, feel free to share your story before you receive them. I am always curious to know how you guys are doing, and it's beautiful, honestly, to see the spiritual efforts and how many people truly are living conscious, cognizant, and, you know, true lives of integrity out there. I'm impressed. I'm not gonna lie, pile number one. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. If you like this video and want to support me, please give it a like, and if you want to see more from me, subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hi everyone, if you selected pile number 2 or Argentum Silver, this is going to be your reading about eclipse season 2023 that is starting on October 14th. As we know, eclipses are a massive time of transformation in our life, so I am curious to see what changes it's bringing into your lives. Silver. Polishing. This gives me a sense of polishing something. Okay, we'll see. Let's reveal the rest of your oracles. We have the vow. We have the herald, small regrets, longing. Okay, let's put it over here. We have the gambler with loss and risks. So it seems like maybe right now, pile number 2, you're reflecting in your life and you're feeling regret because you've taken some sort of a risk that you think didn't pay off or something like that. We'll see. Let's see. We have Moon in Capricorn with practicality. Interesting. Do you guys see the dichotomy? Risk and practicality. Capricorn energy is the opposite of an energy of risk. And we have Jupiter in Capricorn with control. My God. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Very heavy Capricorn placements. Honestly, you guys might be Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancers. Because I'm really sensing cardinal energy here. You might have really prominent cardinal energy here. And the shift in South Node and North Node, Aries and Libra, this is affecting your life here. Okay, let's see. We have Torch, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Beautiful. We have Boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Very similar theme with practicality. And we have Lion, time to act. Wow, okay. Very interesting. Let's get your tarot cards, pile number 2, so we can see more clearly what this eclipse season 2023 is bringing into your life. We have the Devil. Okay. A lot of you might be Capricorns, okay? There is a very, very heavy emphasis on Capricorn energy here with the Devil. We have the World. Yeah, okay, I'm getting the messages. The downloads have begun, let's just say that. We have the Hierophant. We have 7 of Wands. I just need 2 more cards. We have 2 of Swords. And finally, we have 5 of Pentacles. Let me just move your cards so we can see it much better because we can't see the 5 of Pentacles over there. All right, pile number 2, let's get straight into your reading here. So right away with the Devil being your first card, this first card right here represents your energy now and what may be the challenge now in your life. Clearly, pile number 1, I'm seeing that you have recently gone through a massive personal transformation, and recently you've been working on kind of integrating that energy of transformation into your life, but now you're facing the fear again. Basically, the fear of your old self is pulling you back. Let me tell you the reason why I'm saying this. The Devil is card number 15, right? And it follows card number 13, which is death, and temperance, which is card 14, right? So the death card tells us about a massive personal transformation where we let go of a part of us, we go through an ego death, right? The Fool goes through an ego death, and then the next step is usually kind of a slowing down in our life that allows us to integrate that new identity, right? That's why temperance follows ego death. Usually once we go through a massive personal transformation internally, things externally will seem like they're slowing down because this energy is basically allowing us to integrate a new identity that we have basically created with the shedding of the old identity in the death card here. With the devil being card number 15, it is only natural that when we shed a massive energy in our lives that has been holding us back, and we've been trying to really find peace in this new identity, really move forward, that our fear will sneak back in and start pulling us towards the old identity here. So I'm seeing that in the recent, a year or so, maybe several months especially, you have really decided, you know what, I am done with this limitation. I am done with fear controlling my life in this way. I am shedding this identity. I'm moving forward. I'm stepping into my power. You have started balancing out your health, your energies, because temperance is a lot about, just finding balance, finding the new normal in your life after a death period, basically. And then it's only natural that a fear is kicking in and telling you, no, it's not gonna be that easy. It's not gonna be that easy, But the truth with the devil is it's an illusion. It's an illusion energy that can keep you trapped as long as you allow it to keep you trapped. Because basically in the traditional devil card, we see two people who are willingly standing there with the devil. We usually see the shackles on the necks of the two people in the devil card being completely open so they can walk away from this illusion of limitation at any point. But the illusion is so strong and the fear is so strong that they decide to stay in the situation regardless. So pile number 2, I am sorry that you're feeling an acceleration of fear in your life. And honestly, with silver and argentum, with me just kind of getting a feeling of polishing something. This is basically what's occurring in your life right now. These negative limiting belief patterns are showing up for you to address them. You can address them. You don't have to allow these energies of the past to pull you back. And we're seeing that actually you are ready to be done with the cycle of whatever the limitation. You're ready to completely shed your identity. Basically what I'm getting here is you've really decided, okay, I'm going to live my life in this way. I'm shedding an identity, and you've committed to it and you started moving forward, but perhaps things have been slower or you're not getting results as fast as you want, and that's why you're now feeling like, okay, is this really for me? Maybe I should go back to my little comfort zone here with the devil here. But pile number 2, you were meant to really wrap up the cycle. Spiritually speaking, this is what you're learning here with the Hierophant here and with the Torch, right? Spiritual development, enlightenment. Right now, basically, you're learning how to not listen to your fear, how to not allow it to keep you hostage. And you're learning how to basically walk through the dark. Walk through the dark, just led by your faith here. This is what this card is really, really giving me a feeling of. I think pile number 2, with the gambler, loss, risks, and small regrets and longing, it's clear that you have started questioning whether you've taken a risk here. You know what I mean? Maybe you thought things would manifest for you a little bit faster, because honestly, temperance is a slow energy. And it tells me that this energy of the devil is creeping in, basically for you to address it, for you to finally shed, the residues of the shadow out of your energy, and for you to step into this new cycle here. You're ready to step into an entirely new cycle. You're done with this particular part of your journey, and your life is really ready to be in a different phase. Basically, there is a before and after here, right? So there's a before, and this eclipse season is really accelerating the after after energy for you. So the World card here represents a challenge, and it's clear to me that the challenge internally for you is to overcome this fear energy and to recognize that you are moving into a new cycle. You are capable of creating a life from the unknown that is entirely different from how events in your past have gone on. And with the Hierophant being your third card here, it represents the change that is occurring internally. You're really getting rooted in your spiritual knowledge, in your spiritual power. So this definitely gives me a feeling of intellectual enlightenment, and then it's shifting into an experience of enlightenment, or an experience of finally basically integrating that spiritual knowledge that you were already intellectually aware of for an extended period of time. Because basically in the Death card, we have to kind of spiritually recognize what we're doing wrong. We have to liberate ourselves, right? Then we deal with fear. And with the Hierophant here, Hierophant represents obviously, spiritual structures in our society. But in your case, I think you're really finally ready to trust faith a little more. You're really ready to let go of a part of you that was holding on to mental limitations and keeping you hostage in one way or another. And you're ready to embody your spiritual knowledge. You're really ready to, finally trust your gut instinct and say, I don't care if it makes no logical sense to anyone else. I am embodying my spiritual truth because I already learned something, and I'm finally integrating that knowledge into real life here. With changes that are occurring externally, we're seeing this Seven of Wands here. It's clear to me, pile number 2, that maybe recently you've taken some sort of a project that you now are questioning whether it was risky, whether maybe you shouldn't be doing this in the first place, and you feel like you're walking blindly through some sort of a creative pursuit, because this is Seven of Wands, right? And 7 is a card of spirituality, but also with this figure running in the darkness, it tells me that you're led by faith. Okay, you're like, okay, I'm really committing here, but it is scary. I'm like running in the darkness, but at the same time, the product of your labor is sprouting here. And you're not seeing this. You're running in the dark, right? But as you're running, the efforts that you've been putting into some sort of a project here, some sort of a creative pursuit here that you might think was a risky thing here, that is really paying off here. Now with Two of Swords representing the outcome in the physical world, we're seeing that towards the end of eclipse season, you're going to have to make a decision, basically. We're seeing that finally in the end of eclipse season, you're deciding what kind of a life you want to live. Basically, in this card, we're seeing an opposition of equal forces. You know what I mean? So with Two of Swords being here, it's clear to me that the end of the eclipse season really, it forces you to basically make a decision to leave some sort of a limiting, sneaky energy behind, and for you to really commit to what is best for you, for your life, for your fulfillment, for who you are. You're deciding to fulfill a vow to yourself. And I think honestly, Two of Swords obviously can be a very difficult energy to deal with, just because you are not seeing the situation very clearly. Two of Swords always implies us not being able to rationally, like logically, argumentatively see the truth. And that's why there's this push and pull of energies, because intuitively you're feeling one thing, from the perspective of your mind you're feeling another thing, and there's this need to commit basically to the light perspective here, because this darkness perspective here is making me think of this Five of Pentacles here. By the end of eclipse season 2023, pile number 3, I'm just gonna tell you right away, you will be faced with a choice of basically, okay, like how do I proceed here? And it will be a little bit of an intense energy, but this energy allows you to leave this limiting mindset. Five of Pentacles is always about feeling like you don't have enough, like there will never be enough, like you'll always be out stranded in the cold. And it's always coming with, there's some sort of a physical world change basically that's occurring in the end of the eclipse season here, that is allowing you to finally see the situation more clearly. Yeah, with Silver here. Definitely. You're seeing the situation more clearly. So something in your life where you felt like you were really blindly moving through this process, just led by faith towards, the fulfillment of your dream. You're definitely doing something like in the unknown here. And this is why there might be this energy of fear, or this energy of confusion, or this energy of lack of clarity. And congratulations, pile number 2, by the end of the eclipse season, basically what we're seeing is you're finally shedding this limitation, basically, and letting go of specifically a lack of belief in abundance that this world has to offer for you in your lifetime. Honestly, with there being so much Capricorn here, I think pile number 2, there is an inconsistency within your character. There's a battle within your character now, and this is what's causing the internal fear and pain. Basically, on one hand, you are a very, very ambitious, hardworking, practical person who likes to be on top of their ish, you know what I mean? Who likes to be on top of, basically, you want to be a productive member of society. You want to be able to show that your active effort is really worthy, you know what I mean, of you receiving the results of your manifestation. However, at the same time, there's also this intuitive side to you, and in one way or another, there is a limitation in your belief system that tells you that the intuitive side is not to be listened to. Does that make sense? By the end of the eclipse season, pile number 1, you are trusting your intuitive side more. You're really allowing yourself to let go of control here, okay? You're really allowing yourself to use your practical qualities to your best, basically, here. And with time to act, with increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals, know that whatever it is the project that you took on that you might deem to be a risk, or you might not be seeing the results that you've expected to see by now, know that you will be seeing those results. You have all of the active masculine traits here with hard work, ambition, and practicality, right, to accomplish this. So please do not get discouraged with this fear energy. Recognize it's just fear energy. It's just an illusion that is kind of keeping me stuck, and I don't have to listen to this fear. I think there is an energy of like, almost, this gives me like a feeling of ADHD paralysis, where I think the emotion of fear is maybe getting to you to the point where you're like, well, should I not even invest in this project altogether now? What do I do here? And obviously with Lion here, time to act, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Clearly, there's a message of don't worry, continue pouring your heart and work and action into this project here, because it will pay off. And yes, the eclipse season, pile number 2, I'm just going to be straightforward with you. The eclipse season is going to be a little bit triggering for you, okay? Because you're shedding massive, massive energies of fear, of darkness here, because you're finally confronting basically the side of you. I think there's a side of you that tells you that your worthiness is really tied into how practical and hardworking you are, but you're really learning towards the end of the cycle that your practicality in a lot of ways is actually keeping you hostage. You know what I mean? It's actually just basically, this gives me a feeling of someone who is like, okay, I have this intuitive project for this creative idea, but it's not the most reasonable thing. Let's go for it. You're going for it, and now your practical side is like, okay, it's not really working out like I planned. What do I do here? Should I settle for another practical thing? Do I continue putting in effort here? Yes, please continue putting in the effort into your project here. There needs to be a balancing out of your intuitive side and your basically practicality here for you to be able to finally move past the cycle of limitation here. And I'm just gonna be completely honest, pile number 2, towards the end of the eclipse season here, you're going to start seeing the product of your labor. You're going to get rooted in your spiritual knowledge, because I think finally you're like seeing the results in real world, and you're understanding that it wasn't all about practicality practicality. It wasn't all about control. It was about balance here. In other words, it's not just your hard work and your motivation and ambition that got you out of the cycle, but rather the duality of your nature, your trust in the unknown, the intuitive side of you, as well as your work. And believe me, you are ready to be done with the cycle. Basically, what is occurring right now, pile number 2, is occurring for you to be able to finally put an end to this dichotomy within you that tells you that you have to work super hard and life is all about hustle and success is all about hustle. This makes me think of like Hustle University. Oh gosh, let's not even mention the name of that man. Anyway, but pile number 2, congratulations. It seems like you're finally, the reason why this energy is heavy here is because you were meant to shed this energy in this lifetime, okay, with the vow. I think before you incarnated in this particular experience, you were like, okay, I'm going to be done with this energy and I'm going to achieve something here. So how do I do that? And right now you're learning in your life how to trust your spiritual judgment more, how to trust faith more, and how to work together basically with your practical qualities and your need to control, as well as with your intuitive qualities here. So yeah, pile number 2, it seems like you're really clearing out a polishing yourself into the person that you're meant to be. You're really getting rooted in your power here. There's like, I'm just hearing like the roar of the lion. You're ready to be rebirthed in your true power that is not just, this control and anxiety energy, but rather this energy of you feeling confident, feeling comfortable, feeling like you can trust both your gut and your mind. Like you're really learning to balance the two here. So yeah, pile number 2, thank you so much for doing this reading with me. If you liked this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hi everyone. If you selected pile number 3, or Sol Sapiente, Wise Salt, this is going to be your reading all about the eclipse season 2023 and what massive transformations and changes it's bringing into your life. Interesting. With salt has an ability to increase our satisfaction. Basically, it adds flavor to life, right? With wise salt. Seems like you're getting in touch with some sort of a spiritual side of you that is really adding flavor to your life. Let's just see. We have the animal. Let's see the rest of your oracle cards. We have the champion, achievement and downfall. You've got your eye on the prize here. That's what I'm picking up intuitively. And we have the masquerade, hiding your true self, projection. Masquerade, you're masquerading as someone. We'll see what this means in a second. Let's see your astrology cards. We have Mercury in Cancer with intuition. Very, very spiritual energy here. You might be really trying to honor your truth now. And we have Sun in Taurus with acquisition. Acquisition. You're finally, this eclipse season is letting you get someone or something that you have been drooling over, or your heart has been on it for a while. For some of you, it might be a romance, a specific person, or a desire that you're merging with finally with this eclipse season. Let's reveal your tea leaves. We have the mule. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. We have mountain road. You are on the road to success. And finally, we have pale. Time to get out of a situation. Okay, so there's definitely a message for some of you ending some relationships in your life in this eclipse season. I'm just going to say it how it is here, because clearly there is, there's an energy of you just not tolerating stuff anymore. You're done tolerating something, and that is, for some of you, making people fall out of your life, basically, because you're not willing to tolerate their treatment of you. You're getting out of some relationships here. And that is good. That is really helping you. Okay, let's see. Let's get your tarot cards, pile number 3, and we'll see more. What massive transformation and changes is this eclipse season bringing into pile number 3's life? We have King of Swords. We have 5 of Swords. Okay, yeah. Interesting. We have 2 of Swords. Wow, I mean, the Swords energy, right? We have the Chariot. We have, there's an airplane flying over me. I don't know if you can hear it, but maybe some travel. We have 9 of Pentacles. Wonderful. Wow, wonderful. And this is the outcome in the physical world. Okay, and I just need one more card. We have the Sun. Wow, beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay, let me just move your cards so we can see everything clearly, and I'll be right back. All right, pile number 3. So right away, with you selecting the Wise Salt card and the King of Swords being your first card that showed up here, this card here represents you now in your journey. It is clear that you are very much in your masculine intellectual power right now as the eclipse approaches us. With the Wise Salt, as I said, it's the kind of wisdom that brings about more flavor to life, right? You're getting connected to your spiritual wisdom that is allowing you to experience more joy and excitement with Wise Salt here. At the same time, the energy of salt is also a cleansing energy. It's a medicinal energy. Salt has a property of absorption, right? Salt absorbs the kind of flavor that it interacts with. So there's an element of cleansing, absorbing the shadow, and moving into a more integrated type of wisdom that allows you to also be in tune with your intuition here. So definitely pile number 3, there is a strong message here of you moving into your intuitive power. And let's move through the cards so I can see what I'm seeing here. So with 5 of Swords here, looking directly at the King of Swords, this card is meant to represent your challenge during the eclipse season. This 5 of Swords really tells me, because of the way that it's presented, look at the way that this guy is looking at the King of Swords, sticking his tongue out. There is a youthful, young, adventurous energy that is not that serious, that's within you, that is really needing an outlet to burst out into. So I think pile number 3, what's happening is you are a very intelligent, very rational, very, very smart person, right? But there's a part of you that has been blocked off by this intellectual energy. I think your energy of your mind, of rationality, of, higher knowledge has really taken over, and I think in some ways is made you more serious than you're meant to be. Because, embodiment of enlightenment, although when we're intellectually enlightened, this can be a serious type of process, right? We do shadow work, we clear out negative energy, we really try to deal with our karmic loops. This is a serious, no easy schmeezy type of process, right? But at the same time, if you notice, most people who I would consider to be enlightened, or people who are in higher levels of consciousness, they're very light energetically, right? There's not that energy of seriousness and making everything about intellect in them. No, not at all. As opposed to that, they're very intuitive, very relaxed. Someone who is able to embody both their intuitive, their feminine qualities, and their masculine qualities. And with this Five of Swords, looking directly at this King of Swords, this is telling me that you're ready really to integrate your joyful side with your intellect. There needs some sort of an integration that needs to happen here. Because I think, pile number 3, you have been having your eye on the prize in terms of your dream in one way or another. You have done everything for this dream. You know, you've changed yourself, you've grown, you have been masquerading, honestly, as someone who you're not. And let me tell you, this obviously with masquerade, right, this is not entirely a conscious process most of the time. It's not like we just choose to put a false identity on. Rather, your false identity can very much be about that, about this King of Swords here. Your false identity can be an identity that doesn't allow you to relax, that doesn't allow you to be joyful, to be childlike, to be excited, right? Maybe your false identity is an identity of, you know, just seriousness. This very much gives me Capricorn energy as well, but you, through this eclipse season, pile number 3, are moving into merging with your intuition and with your power here. And basically what is occurring here is you are on the verge of receiving a manifestation that you have been wanting for an extended period of time. However, in order for you to really transition into this new stage of your life with abundance, in order for you to really get the fulfillment of your dream here with the Sun and with the Chariot, in order for you to finally wrap up this cycle and move into a new one, there needs to be a balancing of energies that is taking place. Internally, we're seeing the struggle this month, okay? Pile number 3, we're seeing this push and pull kind of energy. I really love this presentation of Two of Swords because I think it really shows us what Two of Swords feels like. Two of Swords always present situations in which we cannot see the situation clearly with our rational mind. There's something or a part of us that is disconnected from the actual truth of love, of our destiny, that doesn't allow us to see forward. And that's why the Two of Swords process can be so painful, because basically we're stuck in indecision because there is a push and pull of energy within us. One side is pulling us towards our intuition, the other side is gaslighting ourselves. So we're stuck kind of in a decision paralysis here. And pile number 3, right away, I'll tell you that during this eclipse season, this might be a triggering energy for you, okay? The energy of eclipse season 2023 is activating an internal battle within you between your intuition and basically your ego, and you are trying to establish a common ground. You're trying to root yourself here and decide how to proceed forward. As we're seeing your situation progress, you're succeeding, pile number 3, because right after you are experiencing this indecision paralysis with Two of Swords, you're making a decision and moving into a fulfillment of some sort of a dream. Now the Chariot is a card of always being orchestrated by you yourself, okay? So this is telling me that by the end of eclipse season, pile number 3, you are taking your life into your own reins of control. You know, you're deciding to go on this journey looking for financial abundance and a fulfillment or acquisition of some sort of a dream. This definitely has to deal with your level of financial success, with your career, something along the lines, just because we have acquisition in Taurus. You know, Taurus is a very material based sign. It is an earth based sign. It's Venusian sign, right? It's a sign about luxury and experiences of higher levels of basically social status. So there is definitely an upgrade in your social status that is occurring in the end of this eclipse season. It seems to me, pile number 3, right now this eclipse season is really activating within you this understanding that you cannot proceed any further just relying on your intellect. There's something that you really want with the animal and and the champion with achievement and downfall here, that is not entirely rational. Okay, pile number 3, it's not entirely rational. It's a very intuitive kind of pull towards a desire, and I think because it's not very rational, this is causing a fear within you. This is causing this decision paralysis. So there's something on your mind, you're considering this idea, you want to move forward with this idea, but before you really can move forward into this new life, because you are receiving some sort of financial abundance by the end of eclipse season, you are receiving a manifestation of a dream here as a result of you finally moving past this internal cycle. Okay, so what I'm seeing basically is in the beginning of the eclipse season, there is an internal kind of spiritual energy battle within you, where you are integrating the energy of the past, of the fear. You're recognizing that in some ways you yourself have been holding yourself back with your own intellect, like you've relied on your intellect too much. But in reality, pile number 3, in order for us to experience true happiness and joy and peace in this lifetime, we cannot just make our ego or our intellect our primary source of validation, right? There needs to be a balance between your higher self, your soul, your heart, and your ego. Your ego and your heart, your intuition needs to guide you, and your ego needs to act in accordance with your intuitive pulse here. And this is what's basically occurring here. I'm seeing that in the beginning of eclipse season, pile number 3, you will be dealing with this internal conflict energy. Okay, you are really not wanting to leave behind the King of Swords, let's just say that. And I really get this because I am a very intellectual person. I think it's very common for people who are spiritually attuned for us to have our crown chakras like really functioning, really open, and sometimes we struggle with our first actual chakras, right? With the chakras that are more connected with grounding, with personal power, with our heart, right? Because we are like a portal of information into our brain, and then how do we ground that spiritual energy? This is basically what I'm seeing here. You've always been a channel of information, but I think in some ways your intellect has been holding you back, and now you're ready to integrate this energy and allow yourself to unveil your more authentic self and to move into the acquisition of your desire here. Whatever it is you've been manifesting here, you're getting it in the end of this eclipse season, and it comes with extra abundance. So this could be a new job opportunity that allows you to make much more financial abundance. This could be, you know, a random project opportunity that you decide to take on, and it is resulting in financial abundance and in you receiving the quality of life that you've been asking for. This energy is basically ready to be served to you, but at first, pile number 3, you need to wrap up this internal cycle, because truly you will be able to experience this for yourself much better, much easier if you transition and end the cycle of an internal battle here. I mean, I think your messages are pretty clear here, pile number 3, with you are on the road to success, right? The sun is a card of a fulfillment, of a wish. It's a very happy, dancey, exciting, positive card. We also got 9 of Pentacles, which is a card of complete abundance, and the Chariot, right? So we're seeing that towards the end of the eclipse season, you are deciding to take something, some sort of an opportunity, some sort of a decision. You are going full force into it, and this is actually a result of you balancing the internal energy of conflict. With this decision, you're listening to your intuition and you're like going straight forward for your desire. And congratulations, by the end of this eclipse season, you're already seeing results of your manifestation, and you're already seeing that whatever this decision that you're making, whatever this journey that this Chariot is taking on, it is actually a very fated moment for you to have made that decision. You were meant to kind of close out a cycle here where you relied a lot on the energy of intellect. You were meant to integrate an energy of intuition into your knowledge. Like there's something, it's like you're intellectually enlightened, but you refuse to embody enlightenment. Does that make sense? Like you may be like, okay, intuitively, I know what I'm supposed to do. Am I gonna do it though? No. You know, this is kind of like the energy that I'm picking up in the beginning of eclipse season, and then you're finally, I think the energies of eclipse, because they bring everything about us internal to the surface, we are able to deal with it. You're dealing with this energy, and as a result of you wrapping up an internal cycle, you are finally getting into the success that you were meant to receive in this lifetime. And make no mistake, pile number 3, it's because of you doing the internal work here, okay? So the eclipse season seems to start out with internal kind of energy for you that is then resulting in a decision to take on a completely new journey. You're diving right into it, and right away, pile number 3, it's paying off, okay? Right away it's paying off in terms of success, money, and just it's a dream come true for you. You're getting something with acquisition in Taurus. You're getting some sort of access to extra resources, abundance, and just a higher level of life and experience in general. Traditionally, the Sun card is presented as a child on a horse, right? The reason why it's presented as a child, even though up until the Sun card, basically the Fool has always been presented with adult-looking energies as per se, right? But the whole message of basically there being a child on a horse in the Sun card is because you finally rediscovered your authentic self, okay? So let's just quickly go over the Fool's journey. The Fool incarnates on Earth at card 0, right? He goes on to the real life and meets the archetypes of what this Earth experience is about. He meets the feminine energy, the masculine energy. We all have a mother and a father, you know what I mean? And he also meets social structures and influences. He meets his own free will and power. He starts learning throughout his journey. And obviously throughout all of the cards, he starts acquiring identities and traumas that are not belonging to him. And that's why we see the Fool go through the journey of the Death card, of the Tower. The Fool needs to shed a lot before he can truly transition into his true, authentic life. And in the Sun card, the fulfillment of a wish is always implying a wish that is intrinsically and authentically true to who you are, because the Sun follows the Moon and the Star, and the Star is the first card throughout the major arcana where the Fool is making a wish authentically from his intuition, from his heart. The Fool is now done with the Tower, done with the Death cards. He has been through it, okay? The Fool has been through the unhappy and suffering type experiences on this planet, and he has shed the layers of identity that do not serve him. That's why in the Sun card we're seeing a child on a horse, because the Fool is finally back in connection with his authentic, true, original power. And this is what's happening here. So the reason I brought up the whole story of the Fool in the Sun card is because whatever it is the desire that you're receiving, pile number 3, it's significant enough for you to really feel like this is like a dream come true for you since you were a kid, you know what I mean? Or for you, this is something that you've wanted authentically since you were really young, and then you got disconnected from that power. You weren't able to really receive it in the way that you envisioned it. Obviously, the Fool goes through a lot of disappointment to finally get to the Star card, right? He has to acquire an identity, shed an identity, acquire an identity, shed an identity, deal with challenges, and then finally, when he comes to the Sun card, we're seeing a fulfillment of a manifestation or a dream that is absolutely authentic to who the Fool is, like on his most soulful primal level. So make no mistake, pile number 3, whatever this wish that is coming true for you, it's pretty massive, okay? It is something that is finally bringing consciousness into everything that you've been imagining, okay? Because the Sun is following the Moon, right? And the Star is when the Fool is making his first authentic wish, it's inevitably followed by fear, which is the Moon, right? And then you finally get your first real manifestation, the first real sign that the Fool is now in the world that is different from what he has known before. You're no longer challenged by these shadow energies. You're no longer holding on to these identities that are inauthentic to you, and you're ready to experience life in a much happier, much more joyful and excited manner. So pile number 3, congratulations. I mean, it seems like this eclipse season is really allowing you to finally integrate your feminine and masculine side. There's definitely a message of you unveiling your true self by getting rooted in your feminine side, okay? You're walking away from something here. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. This could be you also saying bye to some people, you know, because honestly, during all eclipses and times of major astrological transformations in our life, they're all about kind of looking at our life and saying what serves me and what doesn't, what should I have let go of, where am I going next, right? So I'm seeing that because this eclipse is so powerful and you're meant to really align with your true authentic identity here, you're really meant to unmask yourself. Obviously, everyone who was in your life because of the mask, someone who was there not because they love you authentically for who you are, but rather they love you for the mask, those people will start falling off. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone here is meant to be a part of your journey throughout a particular period of your time. But I'm just gonna give you a warning that this eclipse is also bringing endings to some relationships. Perhaps you're just over, you know, you're just not tolerating people's ish. No more, no more, pile number 3. You're done with that. So yeah, pile number 3, this is pretty exciting with Mercury in Cancer here and with Sun in Taurus with acquisition. It's clear to me that you're receiving something, some sort of a desire that you are really yearning to receive from your heart center. But also with this being the 4th card, right? 4 is a card of stability. So what we're getting here is you're finally moving into a period of your life where you're like stabilizing yourself. You're deciding to go on this chariot journey. There is a financial abundance, a dream come true there, and you're finally like really feeling stabilized in this new abundance energy. You know what I mean? This is not the kind of energy that just comes and goes. It's not like you're getting a bunch of money and then all of a sudden the following day you slug back into your limiting mentality. No. Like you are upgrading, and this is the new level of stability for you, your new frequency of the basis from which you operate, basically, pile number 3. So yeah, it seems like the eclipse season 2023 is pretty massive for you. Obviously, congratulations, you're wrapping up a pretty difficult cycle that felt like it was really not allowing you to move forward. Like there is some sort of a dichotomy within you that is not allowing you to move forward as freely and joyfully and powerfully as you might want to. And in the beginning of the eclipse season, pile number 3, I'm just gonna tell you, you're gonna deal with this internal energy of anxiety. You're gonna be making some sort of a commitment here. But this eclipse season is really allowing you to get in touch with your own free will, with your own power. You're like, you know what, I'm done just being rational here. I want this, I'm going for this. You're taking some sort of an opportunity, wrapping up an internal cycle, and receiving a manifestation of your abundance, of a dream that is authentic to who you truly are. There's no longer this mask or masquerade that is occurring in your life. So yeah, pile number 3, congratulations. This is very positive. I'm very excited for you. So yeah, thank you so much for being here for this reading. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.